Good morning, this is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome, and for those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on the Patreon page with a monthly subscription, thank you so very much. Your guys' contributions and subscriptions help to, keep the channel going, so I greatly appreciate it. Anybody that is interested in supporting the channel in that way, you can go to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist. You can receive the daily forecast a day early. You can also receive other readings that are only available on the Patreon channel, depending on which subscription level you choose. So that's available to you. Private readings are also available via the Facebook business page. So if you message me or email me any questions at the Facebook business page, you can have those answered or book a reading that way, find out how to go about booking a reading. They're usually about an hour and payable through PayPal. So that's available to you too. All right, so this is the broad spectrum reading. We're still building on the energy of the week. This is originally intended for November 19th, which would be a Thursday. I have to actually look at my calendar. I still have no idea what day of the week it is. But this is not solely set for that date. If you're seeing this, if it's in your feed and it's popped up on your screen and you're watching it on your phone and it's like, hey, it's not the 19th, that's okay. It's still a message for the highest good for the greater collective. I believe Spirit has a way to take these videos and find them, bring them to us in due course, right? When we're supposed to see them. So this meeting, this reading is timeless in that respect, okay? It is a broad spectrum reading intended for many people, the highest good of the greater collective. Therefore, some of it will apply, some of it may not, maybe all of it applies. You really have to take what you need and leave the rest. Utilize it in the best way that you know how. If it fits, figure out where it fits in your life and hopefully it assists you in your journey. If it doesn't make any sense or doesn't resonate, that's completely fine. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just means that you're working on something different at this time. So don't worry about that. And if you decide to make any decisions in your day-to-day life after having watched this video, those decisions are your own responsibility. So keeping that in mind, okay? Never sort of allow somebody else's information to override your own, essentially, what you know to be true and right for yourself, okay? So let's see what's going on here with the cards today. Excuse me. It finally feels like winter is setting in. It's like, I was outside with the dogs this morning. It was like chilly and my nose started to run. Great. All right, let's see what we need to know. Okay. Ooh, hi. Okay. So we have the Chariot. Chariot is major arcana, which I love to see that, especially following that Wheel of Fortune that we had yesterday, right? So we're in kind of a little bit of a heady pocket of energy this week. We do have that Three of Pentacles underneath this. The Chariot is usually a celebratory energy. It's associated with the sign of Cancer, right? Which is very nurturing, kind of mothering, can be moody at times, but it's for overall for the good and the benefit of everyone. And again, I'm just going to point out this gleaming light that seems to be shining. I don't know, which card did we see it with? Was it with the Wheel of Fortune yesterday that was beginning? I think that's what was beginning it. And now it's growing. It's growing towards that light that we see in Sunday's reading of the Six of Wands, which I really liked, that glow that's around that cat. And again, Chariot is similar in celebration like the Six of Wands is, right? And so, but the Chariot to me is a bigger form of that, right? Chariot is about forward movement, swift movement usually, good solid direction. When I look at these two twin horses, I'm going to try this. This is something I just figured out I can do with my camera, so let me bring this in. Just, this is a little aside. Let's go in for a little bit closer look. When we look at these two twin horses here, I love that they're both white, which to me speaks to the idea of pure. Horse is a symbol of power. White is a symbol of purity to me, right? So when I'm looking at these two horses, we've got both of our horses pulling our chariot, pulling our desire, pulling our our idea, where we want to go, what we want to achieve. There's a purity of that in a direction. There's power behind that. I love the rose garlands, right? To me, that's definitely like sort of beauty, growth, also spirituality being attached to all of this. And this cat is sort of moving through the experience quite swiftly. Now, the cat being hairless, and I think that MJ defined this on another card, is that it sort of also represents as vulnerability. The chariot's motion and the swiftness with which it moves can feel intense for some of us. So some of us might feel a little bit vulnerable as we're moving towards our goals, or might feel like things are sort of moving in a way that doesn't feel like we have complete control over it. And that might signify with this hairless cat, or is that a Siamese cat? I'm not sure. But to me, there might be some of that going on, because that would be sort of maybe the downside of the chariot, would be moving so swiftly that we don't feel like we can get a grasp on things as they're going. But overall, the chariot is a very direct card, in the sense that there's nothing stopping us at this point. It's kind of the vibe that I get with a chariot card when it shows up. And when we have that Wheel of Fortune from yesterday, I felt like there was sort of a little bit of not indecision, but kind of like being mindful in yesterday's message about where we place our attention. The chariot is all about, knowing, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm going after, and setting off on the journey to get there. And also, to a certain degree, being carried there a little bit. And that's the part where it can feel a little bit uncomfortable to us. We have that Three of Pentacles energy underneath, that Three of Pentacles, which to me is all about collaboration. Allow the situations and the people around you to offer you, boosts or assists in moving forward. Those are available to you underneath this. And also, I will say the Three of Pentacles energy balances out a little bit of the swiftness of the chariot. So this might actually be a pleasurable ride for you guys. And let me tell you, who couldn't use a pleasurable ride once in a while? I'm sorry, I'm a pig, I know. But what I mean is like, it's been alright, I'm gonna get a little bit. It's been 8 months. It's a pandemic, people, or however many friggin' months. I haven't touched another human being in ages. Anyways, that's just me. So, I'm just kidding. I digress, or pervert, or whatever. What I'm trying to say is enjoy the intensity of the chariot, and know that the Three of Pentacles sort of tempers it, right? So we might actually feel like we have some control, some say in how we move forward, in what we get to celebrate. And I like the blend of the two, to be honest. I feel like I said, the Three of Pentacles underneath would temper that chariot energy. So some of you might really actually enjoy this process of, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to go there. Again, though, I'm going to just remind you, the Three of Pentacles also speaks to that idea of collaboration and coming together in sort of work-related or ideas of being made manifest. So keep eyes open for opportunities today, too. This also would be the chariot, because these opportunities could potentially move you forward in ways that you don't, not that you don't see, but that are surprising, right? Or swift, and will be exciting and bring us to that place where we have that Six of Wands at the end of the week, where we're really glowing and feeling exalted or inspired, appreciated, all of that sort of energy. All right, so let's see what's going on. Oh, damn it. Okay. This card, every time I see it, it's kind of like, it feels like a big no to me. I don't know why. I think it's the double X's, right? It's number 39, and 9 and 30 is a 12, which is a 3, which is that correct? Yes, 9 and 3 is 12. That's a 3. So we're talking about, again, there's 3 on top of that Three of Pentacles energy underneath. It could be about collaboration. What I feel like this is future, and I don't really remember the definition of this card, but I always get this sort of feeling that this card, when I flip it over, is Spirit saying, not today. Like, I can't show you. You can't necessarily know just yet. And this could be our own spirit. I'm not talking about spirit like, ooh, oogly, oogly ghost. I'm talking about our higher self. And when I'm looking at this chariot carrying this cat, that's that maybe that feeling of like not knowing exactly how we're going to get there, or if we have to encounter others to produce the goals that we want, we may have to trust others or the processes, the situations that we're involved in to carry us through, and we may not see exactly all of the steps that go along, and that might be some of the feeling of the unknown, and that's what I feel like is going on with this card, future. It's sort of this idea of staying in the present moment and kind of taking in the ride, even if that ride feels, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but if it feels like we're not in control of the ride, right? Because we have these two beautiful horses that are driving us, right? These desires, or the purity of our desire and our spirit kind of pulling us along, whether we realize it or not. But we may not know exactly how we're going to get there. And that's sort of this future card. But I feel like there's a level of trust that takes place here from our maybe our egoic or our mental space towards our spirit space, or the desire of our higher self in a way. Does that make sense, guys? If we trust that and we continue to move forward, we don't stay so obsessed with the future, right? We bring our attention back to the now and take in the journey and celebrate what is going on. The small, even if it's just small celebrations for some of you, we start to build more of that. We head in quicker ways towards more of those experiences. Okay? For some of you, if the future looks bleak or like it's not quite connecting to you, do you know what I mean? Where you're struggling in some way, shape, or form, this could be a rather uncomfortable ride. I will say that. But I will say that with the Three of Pentacles underneath, for those of you that are, it's like I feel like there's a choice here. Some of us can focus on this and the magnitude of the fact that we're moving forward, and focus on the blessings that bring us in that forward movement, no matter what we experience. That's also the sort of the mental activity here, I feel like. But then some of us might be focusing on the struggles, right? Or the blockades, the situations that haven't worked in our favor. And those carry us in the same sort of vein towards more of the same, right? Because we saw that in yesterday's Wheel of Fortune card, which is this message that whatever we're focusing on, wherever we're placing our attention, be aware, because we'll be creating more of that as we go forward. And the future is still yet unknown. And I mean, not only for us personally, but also collectively. We're still working that out on a day-to-day basis. That's what, crazy presidential elections and pandemics can bring for us. It's like we're no longer allowed to rely on the outside world in the ways that we used to. We can't just set things to autopilot and expect things to kind of sort of turn out the way that they have for days and years gone by, right? Right now, people are losing jobs, people are redefining their, financial situations. There's a lot going on, and I think that all of this stuff is making us stronger to a degree, whether we realize it or not. And if we get more in the present moment and celebrate whatever wins we have, no matter how small, I feel like A, they will definitely grow and become more substantial and more apparent. And B, that being in the present moment will give us the ability to also adapt and move and shake and make decisions and all of that stuff in the moment. And that brings us to the state of that celebration that comes with the Chariot. All right. I hope that makes sense. Now let's go to the grounding stone. Okay, so we have a grounding stone of malachite, which is associated with the heart, and the word is inspiration. What inspires us, right? And remember, inspiration comes, I believe, and I'm not like an English major or a Latin major, but that spear inspiration is about being in spirit, like sort of in the sense of what compels us from a place of deep spiritual desire, right? Those are the roses that I see on these horses' crowns and third eye, right? It's this sort of spiritual connection to the beauty of life and what we desire. That's the richness of the red, right, in the rose. That's the pursuit of, the the purity of the pursuit and the power with which we can pursue it from a place of spirit. Inspiration is about that. So staying focused on what we desire, not what we're receiving. If some of us are receiving things that feel more difficult or challenging at this time, stay with the inspiration of it all in your heart, of what you want to be true. And this could be applied to any situation. This could be applied to, financial means, jobs, relationships, whatever it is that where we want to see ourselves in the I don't even want to say years to come, because that's this future card, like saying no, like the crosses to me feel like, don't live in the now. How do I want to say this? Because I don't want anybody living in the now like recklessly. There's a way to be in the present moment and stay inspired by your desires of what your long-term goals may be, but also as you're in the present moment, stay flexible and available to inspirations as they come, because they're all part of the process. And I think that, planning for 5 years from now may not be possible for the majority of us, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. So taking heart in the fact of that doesn't mean that we give up on our goals or our desires. We keep that inspiration within our heart, and we keep visiting it and giving attention to it, and allowing that to sort of be these horses that carry us to this celebration. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Let me read the definitions. All right, and again, that 3, also that future card brings us to that mind, body, spirit connection and being in trust of all of that, right? So let's look at the Chariot. Give me one moment. Come on, Chariot. Okay, dedicated to Suli is the name of this cat. The symbolism is upright sword is wisdom, adjusting course based on current information. Again, present moment stuff. Horses is power, which I said, forcefulness and speed, right? Which we talked about that, but I love those garlands too. The rose bridles is passion that is controlled and focused. I also think that's very much about connected to spirit to me. Like that's just the white of the horse, and the red of the roses is just like, boom, let's go. And then the Sphinx cat is good fortune, power, and magic. All right, let's take all that. So the message, you are the one in the driver's seat. Now is not the, okay, so hold on with that first sentence, and I'm not trying to contradict MJ, the artist and creator of this deck. I love this deck a lot. What I do want to say is that it says here, you are the one in the driver's seat, and yes, indeed, we are, and we need to be aware of that. That's the inspiration stone today, but the driver's seat is not letting us see clearly out the window. That is this, and so we have to trust and be ever so much in the present moment with our inspiration and live from that place right now. There's a gift in all of this, guys. Now is not the time to play small or question whether or not you can succeed. No, now is the time to give up your ego, give your ego a bit of control, as you will need courage and a good dose of self-assuredness to move forward without second-guessing yourself. The moment you take your eye off the goal is the moment you risk losing control. And that's the inspiration, right? Staying focused in that. Where's your heart at? What does your heart desire? The key to victory is maintaining stability and knowing how and when to use your ego to your advantage. I'm going to preface that and remind you, underneath this is that 3 of Pentacles, which is stability because it's Pentacles energy, and it's collaboration. It may not feel stable because we might have to bring in situations or depend upon other people to help us get there, but we can do it. So the Chariot asks that you put aside fear and self-doubt so that you can focus your energy on taking action without hesitation. Would your current situation benefit from a little personal restraint? Or are you letting frustration or anger get in your way? When you focus your energy on taking swift, decisive action while curbing the need to overreact, you will be in control of the Chariot. The positive attributes are positive self-esteem and feeling capable of handling any situation, takes action without fear or worry of failure, and healthy self-confidence. The negative would be arrogant and self-absorbed, focuses too much attention on the end goal of winning, or egotistic. I think that there could be a little fear for some of you just because of this future card, because every time I see this card, it makes me feel like we're not going to give you any clues. But Don't let that stop you. All right, so let's read future. In my future, I will become what I was meant to be. There are many different teachings about how our future unfolds. Some believe that it happens by random chance. Some believe that it is a slave to the good and bad choices we have made, and others practice conscious projection of thought, so what they desire can be manifested. Each of these beliefs embodies some truth as well as limitations. How many times has your future been judged as less bright as you look at the time and energy invested and then become disappointed in what you were given in return? Or, worse yet, the belief that you will be a victim forever and nothing will ever change as you experience endless cycles of negativity. As an empath, your gift of the future is realized in your ability to feel and experience energetic choice and belief. You soon discover that every moment has been teaching you all aspects of energy, how it is controlled by your intentions, and that it has been preparing you for your future. The lessons of life begin to seem less challenging when you realize that they are teaching you the gift that you are. And this is about being in the present moment, guys. Changes begin to come from a place of need to experience all that is loving and positive. Curiosity, and that would be also the inspiration of that green stone, which is the heart chakra, right? That would be all that is loving and positive. And remember, the grounding stone for this week is love. That should be the focus this week. We should be seeking that in everything that we do. Curiosity soon lessens the bounds of energetic baggage, and even the experience that all that I need is present before me can begin to take hold. Trust and intuition soon become the guide that leads you into the gift of your future and that the gift you are to its unfolding. Am I allowing myself to be present to my future as it unfolds? Am I stuck in endless cycles where every moment has become the same? Is this situation the same one I have experienced over and over? Is it about time to break this cycle? So for some of you, I think the cycle is breaking. That's the message of the chariot moving forward in yesterday's Wheel of Fortune. Take heart in the fact that even if it feels a little bit uncomfortable or new to have to be more in the present moment with everything we sit with and as we move forward, it's going to guide us there. And as we trust ourselves in our own knowledge and our own inspiration, those things will not really do us wrong, right? We might get things in the outside and from environment, be it people or situations that may block us or steer us off course momentarily, but don't let that get in the way, right? That is the sort of grounding in this idea of inspiration. Where do you feel most inspired, by spirit, driven from your heart towards, your goal? Live in that today. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It actually feels like a really beautiful message. So that is your forecast for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in, each and every one of you. I appreciate all of you. Please share this video out if you feel that anybody else could use it. I greatly appreciate the support. Please leave a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And we will build upon this and see where we're heading. All right? And thank you so very, very much. All right, you guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.